Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making fried mozzarella sticks. Now if you gone to the store lately and tried to price what getting a frozen mozzarella stick cost, the last time I looked at a box it was over $6, which is incredibly high. So we're going to make these at home. So what we're going to start with is in a bowl you're going to mix up 2 eggs. We want to scramble that up, mix it up, make it to where it's all broken up. Then we are going to have at least 8 sticks of mozzarella. What I use for this is string cheese. It's already packed together, it's easy to work with. Then on a separate plate you are going to add 3/4 cup of Italian dried breadcrumbs, 1/3 of a cup of freshly grated Parmesan or Parmesan out of a container, the kind that we get to put on pizza, and then you're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt to this. And you're going to mix it together. You want to blend it through to make sure the salt goes completely through. You don't want that all clumped in one place, but you want to make sure that everything else is mixed together. Then you're going to take the breadsticks, basically the cheese stick, 1 piece at a time, put it in the egg, put it into the breading, and roll it around. Once you get a good coating on that cheese, you're going to take it back to the egg again, and then bring it back to the breadcrumb mixture all over again, because you want to get a decent coating on the outside of your cheese stick. So as you see with rolling it around, it does stick quite a lot to it. And then when you're done with this, you're going to put this onto a tray to the side, which I did want in aluminum foil because these are eventually going to have to go into the freezer for 2 hours. That way they set up before you actually fry them. So you're going to go through the same process repeatedly until you go through all of your mozzarella sticks, which basically, you know, I did 8. You could do as many as you want. There's enough breading here probably to have done 10 or more. And it's really easy when you get the string cheese packs. There are 12 of these in the typical string cheese pack that I buy. So it really works out to where if you wanted to make quite a few of these, you could. And then once you made your way through all of these, we're going to get them all situated on a pan and make sure that before they go into the freezer that they have a cover of plastic wrap or aluminum foil on top, because we want to make sure that there isn't any kind of a freezer burn to this. But you do want to make sure that they're coated and in there for 2 hours to set up, because you want these to harden and be frozen before you deep fry them. That way it holds the cheese in place and it doesn't make a mess or explode all over the place on you while you're cooking it. It's basically working to melt the cheese within the breadcrumbs. And as you see on my tray that I have mine all together here, I have all 8 of them laid out. Then I'm just basically covering, putting in the freezer, and coming back. Now you don't have to do this in 2 hours. You could leave these overnight or whatever. Then you're going to get a pan. You're going to add at least 1 inch or more of oil in it. And then you're going to put in maybe 4 or 5 of these at a time. You don't want them touching. You don't want them up against each other. Now mind you, if you're using a string cheese thing like I did, these are quite long and they take a bit of pan space. And you're going to cook these for at least a minute on each side. You want to look at it as it's cooking to make sure that it's not over browning. If your temperature, your oil is at least around 350 or so, you're probably in a good ballpark to cook these. But as I said, after a minute, you're going to turn them over and cook the other side of it. So that way we're going to make sure that they're browned on both sides. And the good thing is the way they're sitting down in the oil, it's coming up the sides of them. So when you flip it, it's going to be an equal cooking all the way around. So if you're looking at mine right now, you can see the edges are starting to brown. It's pretty obvious that they're cooking quite well. If you feel that they haven't got brown enough, you can go a little over a minute. I wouldn't go a lot over because you don't want to melt the cheese and have it coming out of all the ends and everything like that. But just monitor it, eyeball it. They're not hard to cook. They're not hard to pay attention to. You kind of know when they're getting there, because when they get this browning on the outside of it, you're pretty much there. So just like I said, a minute or so on each side, depending on how hot your oil is. And once they're done, you just pull these out, sit them on a paper towel or whatever to catch some of the grease that's coming off of them, because you know you're cooking these in oil, there will be some running off of it when it comes out. And just let them sit for a second and then bring your next batch into the skillet and cook them as well. And it's the same process over and over. And this is so easily done. And these are so much better than what you would get out of the box of frozen ones if you went to the store and bought them. Because I've had the frozen ones and I like them. But these I loved because there's a lot of good cheese in here. They didn't skimp on the cheese because you put it together. You used your own cheese. And the Parmesan mixed with the mozzarella really does give it a great taste. And the fact that the string cheese is a lot thicker and a lot better. It actually it cooks up into a great cheese stick. So here we go with the next set of mine, and like I said, it's the same process all over, a minute or a minute and a half, whatever, on each side, turning them to see what color they turn out. You want to get them to that brown state, and this is what they look like when they're done, and they have the best taste to them. It's just something that is a pleasure to eat, and it's a great snack. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.